Hello, and welcome to another video. In this video, of course, I'm going to be covering Million Lords gameplay, and this is season 73, I believe. I have a total of maybe an hour and a half of gameplay, and I kind of compress it for you guys so that I could do some background commentary and make it maybe a bit more able to watch instead of actually being or having to run through an hour and a half of gameplay. So this comes out to, I think, like 36 minutes. And interestingly enough, I have five. I believe I have five. Six. I have five giveaways that I have available to me that the devs of Million Lords have graciously granted me to hand out to you guys. And so what I'm going to do is, so that you guys aren't kind of confused, is it's 36 minutes long, and I have five of them, 36 divided by 5, roughly 7. It's roughly 7. So we'll say every 7 minutes, or within every 7-minute segment of this video, I'm going to have a random word hidden within the video. And so what you have to do is, to win, of course, what you have to do to win is find this random word that I have hidden in the video. And it's not going to be any of the city names, because it's kind of hard to tell if the city names is one of the random words, just so you know. It's not going to be any of the city names. I'm not going to try to hide that there. But you have to find the random hidden word within maybe my profile, maybe hidden in the grass or the landscape, whatever it may be. Find the random word and document the time that it shows up in the video. And I'm going to have every one of them show for, I think, 3 to 5 seconds so that you have a chance to see it. It's not going to be like a millisecond, because it's a super long. It's probably one of my longest videos, so I don't want to disadvantage you guys too badly. So you find the word, you then join my Discord, which will be in the server. If you're joined already, perfect. And you can either DM me. I'm listed in the server as Grey God or Over Caffeinated Demiurge, because I changed my name recently. And so you look for that, and you can either DM me or just post it, and it's pretty easy for me to see who posts in the giveaway channel. So just post in giveaway channel if you want, and just list the word that you found and the time that it shows up in the video. And what I'll be doing is then I will contact you and ask for your in-game name or your user ID number, and then the devs will send you 6,000 sapphires. Or not the devs, but whoever's I'm in contact with will send you 6,000 sapphires. And so then you can spend those however you like in game. There's a ton of different things that you can buy, and hopefully this will help you out. Now again, every 7 minutes. So I'll probably set time markers on this video so that you can look for them, and if you don't find them within the first 7 minutes, you can look again and whatnot. And every time that someone finds one, I'll update a comment within the YouTube comment section so that you can see which one's found and know to skip that section, And so it's really a first come, first serve. You can only activate one per person. So once you find one, you don't really need to go through the effort of finding another. I'm going to hide them pretty well. So even if you're showing up maybe 2-3 days later, you still have a chance of finding one. And because my videos tend to take a while to upload into a higher quality, then it's possible that you have to even wait to wait for it to upload into a higher quality before you can be able to find them. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm going to try to mess around and see if I can just upload it straight into like HD, but we'll see. I've had a bit of trouble with that in the past, but so yeah, find the codes. Every 7 minutes there'll be a new code within the segment, and join my Discord channel, which will be linked in description. Post either in giveaway or DM me the time and the word that is just randomized, and I'll let the devs know, and they'll send you 6,000 sapphires in your mail, which is like a $60 value. So it's pretty nice and pretty convenient for anyone, definitely that's starting off new. But otherwise, let's get into this video. Now, this video, I'm kind of going to try to boost my KP as high as possible. Now, what I did when I initially joined for the season is I did just a general holding temples, suiciding into temples, just to get my level up to like 50, maybe 60, depending on who I was really battling with, because higher stat players obviously want to go maybe not defend or attack as much in temples because you have no city walls to help you out there. And so once I did that and I earned, I don't know, maybe 400 million gold, then I basically attacked, starting from the very least KP person on the island, I attacked level 1 cities. And I cleared out 90%, maybe even 95% of the level 1 cities on my island, and I upgraded them all to 50. Now, as I was upgrading, then people were attacking me because there's city capture event, of course, starting off the season. And so people are looking for level 1s for easy captures to complete that event. And so I did lose a few, but I calculated it out, and I'm probably, the first day I probably upgraded more than 5,000 levels worth of cities, or cities worth of levels. I don't know how it works, but either way. And I did this because I wanted my island to grow. And this is a couple days ago, because I've just been busy this week and editing takes a long time because I'm just compressing it for you guys. But right now, my island, because of this strategy, and also when I'm just attacking in general, I start from the lowest KP, hit them until they're 50%, maybe even hit them to 100 or 0%, sorry, on occasion, depending on the person. And then I'll just go up from there until I get bored or whatever, decide to stop attacking or bubble for the night. Then I dump my gold, generally turn off my notifications so I'm not like awakened at midnight of people spam attacking me. And then I will just rinse and repeat, do the same thing. And so the island that I'm on right now is actually probably, I think it holds like 2 of the top 10 people on the server, as well as a good amount of top 50 people on the server. And so it's a really just thriving environment of higher level cities that just really helps me out in my season, even if I don't want to be super active. Then because I wiped out all the level 1s early on and upgraded them to 50, it really just like boosted the island in that sense early on. And by now I've probably leveled like 6,000 or 7,000 worth of levels on the island. But I mean, still most of my stuff is in the 80s now. And so I think this is really a good strategy if you want to boost your KP as high as possible. And not necessarily even on the island that you're staying on. This can be done if you just want to boost your KP as high as possible. and wouldn't necessarily recommend it in the case where you are maybe lacking in troops, or maybe even like midday attacking. If you're attacking like in the middle of the day, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this. But if you are attacking right before you bubble and you're going to earn 6 hours of production after this, then it's sometimes worth hitting 0% experienced opponents for minimal loss, hopefully, and regaining those troops. And then when people attack you later on, then you'll regain some of that experience as well. So it's a good way to maximize your KP. And I hope what you can see here, just in that little segment, I split my troops, of course. This is pretty like juvenile stuff. You split your troops, of course, drop it under 100 mil. It's a faster attack, saves you some time. Then after I worked through that earlier guy and dropped him down to 0% experience, I mass attacked him. And a mass attack, basically, once you see that your opponent is 0%, then it's sometimes worth just sending a mass attack. So you scout the surrounding cities. You can send 10 attacks at a time. You want to send attacks to a further city first, so you have time to send the other attacks afterwards. And this allows you to take the maximum amount from them. And you see here as well, I noticed that this guy is 0% experienced now. So I scout his surrounding cities. I see that none of them have a troop amount that would offer resistance to me. Then I start at his further cities, so I have time to send other attacks. And I send my attacks downscaling to the cities that are closest to me. And maybe it'll take all of his cities in that area versus maybe one or two before he's demo. Because even though he might turn demo after a couple attacks land, the other attacks are already en route. And so I am able to have those land as well. Of course, it's at 0% experience. But after I take other cities, bubble, and then level for the night, or level the cities for the night, then when people are reclaiming, I'll earn some of that experience back. And I'll earn gold back as well. Maybe not to the extent of what I put into it because my salvager isn't amazing, but it's kind of a way to really just boost the economy of the entire island. And when you're doing that, then it helps you out just because other people are growing from the growth that you put in, and then you can grow from the growth that they put in. I don't know. I think that makes sense. But you can see here as well, I saw the guy with 0% experience, cursed home here. And so I sent attack to his further city. Then I sent attack to his closer cities as well and made sure to take those. And then I just pulled my troops in, and I kind of sped up here so you guys don't have to look around. And we don't have a Rusher Temple, and this is a reason that the video is stretched on a bit as well, because Rusher, at least for my clan, we have, I believe, the highest Rusher amount in the entire American server. Depending, it doesn't matter if you're, silver, gold, plat, or I guess bronze, silver, gold, plat, or no, it would be gold, plat, or diamond. I'm sorry, because bronze and silver don't have temples, of course, but it doesn't matter. Gold, platinum, or diamond. We have the highest Rusher, and so not having Rusher at the time really impacts how long the video is going to be, unfortunately. And so I'm able to scout around to nearby islands and find Rusher temples that don't have a ton of troops in them, send small marchers to them, and claim Rusher for a small amount of time, trying to help you maybe not be forced to watch as long of a video. And so here I jump over to the Recruiter Temple, because I want an access point to Kraken King here. And then I scout. I believe I split my troops here because really for 60s you don't need... Okay, I don't. This might be because I notice he is a lower level player. So in that sense, I don't really need to split my troops. Of course, it technically wastes time on my part because I don't see any troops nearby on my multi-scout. And so I could just be sending like half my army to 2 separate points instead of my whole army to 1 point, saving time and losing just slightly more troops. But a level 60 has like 5-6 mil defensive capabilities, so it's not really worth it. Okay, I do split my troops here, which is smart. Because I was going to say it's kind of a blunder on my part not splitting them earlier. But I think, just worked out that way. That's fine. And I think I started the video at around like 50,000 KP. And I'll end the video around like 1.5 mil, maybe 2. I forget. I guess we'll get to that because this was, again, a few days ago and I've been busy. So I forget exactly what happens. But I did just edit it, so you'd think I would be more aware of what was going to happen. But yeah, while we're on the note of like just attacking randomly, so I don't need a ton of commentary, I did want to mention, and maybe you've noticed, that I've changed my YouTube name and my Discord server name, or my Discord name, I should say, to Overcaffeinated Demiurge. And I did this because although I love the name Million Lords for Dummies, I don't really plan on exclusively playing Million Lords for the rest of my like YouTube uploading career or whatever you would call it. And also the phrase for dummies is trademarked because maybe you've seen books like Plumbing for Dummies or Calculus for Dummies or anything like that ends it with for dummies. I think it's a cool just way to describe like it's for new people or people that maybe aren't as experienced in it, and so it's a good way to help them without making it too complicated. But it is trademarked, and if my channel in the far future ever reaches any amount of recognition, then I don't feel like being sued. And so I figure I'll just, get ahead of that and switch my name now. And Demiurge is like a Greek or Roman, what's the right word? Greek or Roman, like deity, I guess would be that. A deity would be a decent word for that. And it deals with like building worlds. And so I figured that would be a pretty decent description of my channel because I do plan on sticking with the like live battlefield city capture type gameplay games. And so building them or like kind of building worlds fits in really well for this. And then obviously Overcaffeinated, I love coffee, tea, that type of stuff. And so I figure it fits in well. And if in the very far future I ever decide to make merch, then I think OCD, Overcaffeinated Demiurge, which has the acronym or whatever it's called, where it breaks down the first letter of the word OCD. I think that's pretty sweet. And I could really make some decent merch out of that without, typing a full name, because obviously the Overcaffeinated Demiurge would just be like a weird thing to have on a sweatshirt. So anyways, that's kind of my mindset of it. And you see here, I actually messed up because I wanted to get all those cities, but then I missed one of my attacks. And this is something when you're sending multi-attacks and trying to clear an entire area out of a pink player, and you can only hit like maybe 2 cities. because it shows the line of attack on this little like white dotted line that you see on the screen here even now, it's sometimes hard to tell if you've sent an attack to the city already, because a line will overlap sending to a city past that point. And so it's sometimes you sometimes miss a city or two. And that's what I did at that point. Now here I see this guy, he has a lone city, so I send my march there, and it's pretty easy take. Then I send my march to a 71. Now, although I then send it to the temple, if I'm going to send a 2-minute march, I might as well send it to a city first, because a temple is a more active target, I could say, because most people will, they'll just scout a temple at random. They'll see that there's less than 1 million troops in there. They'll send their like 600-700K troops, take the temple, and then they'll see my march coming in, and they'll just be like, oh, that's easy gold. So they'll sniper wall it. And I figure I might as well just send to the city instead. And then from there, I'll send to the temple. And then I take 2 of his level 75 cities there. Just going to grab a drink here. This talking is drying out my throat. So, I think, we're 20 minutes in. So we got 15 minutes left, boys. Hope you can handle it. I would be honestly surprised. You guys will have to let me know. And of course, like, there'll be hidden codes, so it's kind of worth watching. You'll have to let me know if you like actually watch this, or if you just find the codes and you're like, we finally found the code, let me just skip to the next 7-minute segment and not care about the commentary. So you'll have to let me know, because I think that'll be pretty funny. Throw it in comments or whatever. So you see here, I split my troops and take those cities, because when you're attacking a 75, if you're like 300 striker roughly and sending under 1 mil, then you often kind of hurt yourself almost. And I didn't want to split it into 3 and take all 3 of those 75s, because it would just hurt too much. And I'm still like not doing super well for my like account level, I guess I should say. Not doing super well for troops for my level. And so I just want to take 2 of the 75s at 0% experience. And then I go over to take the lower level cities in that area. Then he turns pink. So I figure, all right, let me move down here. And I boost this first send, because there's a small chance that he takes the city and then notices I'm sending it, and then, walls me, of course. So I boost the first attack, and then I send this second attack later on after I recollect my troops. And I'm not 100% sure if I boost it or not. I think I might, but we'll see. Because I think, 3 minutes is a bit... Okay, I do boost it, yeah. Because 3 minutes is like a bit of a long time to wait, especially when I'm trying to make a video for you guys and I don't want you to be waiting super long. You see, I sped it up there. Nothing too crazy. So because they're 75s and he is fairly close by, like his main city is fairly close by, I'm going to be sending, I think I send all sub 100 mil KP marches. And so I take 2 in a row, and then I think I reinforce that, yeah. So I take 2, but I don't really want to continue sending marches that are lower than like 70 mil. And so what I do here is I reinforce that first city that I took, And then I kind of mentally calculate what will get me to in the mid 90s worth of, like 95 mil is what I ended up with. And then from there, I just send a couple marches then again. And this is a good way if you have over 100 mil troops and you're attacking like 70s, 75s, but you want to be maxed out at like in the 90s, I guess, for your attacks, then it's often a good strategy, I guess, or I don't know, to have your troops split up and send a march behind it to the city that was taken first, so that you can then attack, or not attack, but reinforce from that first city. Like I have that 62 million there. And then hopefully keep your marches at like mid 90s. Now, what I do here is I took his. All right, so I want to kind of describe this to you guys because I think it's important. Instead of attacking down along the line here and just going through the cities that are further away from his main city, what I kind of like to do is attack in a way that gives me multiple targets, so that if by chance he does block me in a certain area, I can then move my troops to a different target because I have so many that are allowed. Now, unfortunately, in this case, he turned pink before I could really implement too much of that strategy. But I think nonetheless, it is important to note that you can often attack in like a straight line through their base. And then if at a point you scout and notice that they have moved troops, then it doesn't matter as much because you can then fall back to a city that you took earlier and make an attack from that point, or even further back depending on where they reinforce to you. So something to keep in mind in terms of making sure your future attacks are able to be effective as well. And obviously, I always encourage you to scout your opponents rigorously. And sometimes it's often, I guess that's a weird way to say it. Sometimes it's often, like either say sometimes or often. But either way, sorry, going off on a tangent here. Sometimes is worth waiting like 30 seconds to see if they reinforce a city. If you see troops that are nearby or their main city is nearby. And this can avoid also like lag walling. If you notice someone's lag walling, there's sometimes worth placing a certain time frame in between attacks. But it's really situation dependent. So it's not, I don't know, it's not always the case. So even here, you see that I could have attacked to the 79 below me, but instead I attack across because I don't want to take the 79 right away. I want to leave it as something that I can attack later if I notice that his troops are en route somewhere. Now, of course, he turns pink, so like this works best, obviously, in a case where you're going to be hitting someone for a long time. And so if you're just going to be hitting someone like 4 or 5 times, it's not as effective. But it's still something to keep in mind, you know. Don't attack so that you crush an entire area before moving like to the left or right, you know. Instead, attack in an unorthodox way sometimes so that you can work your way through a grouping of cities and still have access points to attack other cities from this. Now, you see here I'm looking at a scout report. And it's important to do this, especially now that they updated scout reports a couple seasons back. And they made it so you can see the skill points that they have in Striker. So if you scout a level 60 player, let's say 61 player for easy math. If you scout a level 61 player and then you look at the scout report and it shows 120% in Striker, then that person has all of their skill points in Striker. And so, because obviously at level 1 you don't have any skill points, so your skill points technically start at level 2. So level 61 would have 60 levels worth of skill points. So then 120 Striker at 2% Striker per skill point would be full Striker. Just to break it down. And so I see that this guy has full Striker, and I'm running a spec of Striker Rusher Hybrid. And so I'm thinking to myself, he can't outrun me. So I might as well really not worry about it. And you can kind of see when you scout a person, you can see their defense as well and their salvager. And from this, you can kind of figure out their general stat level comparison to yours, and then figure out maybe they're running a different breed of their skill tree, and then you don't really need to worry about being walled, or you can be maybe more reckless in this scenario, but caution's always important as well. This is kind of wrapping it up because I took out all the people that were red to me, and I had been attacking for an hour and a half now, so I was pretty spent. And I really don't like to go over an hour or so in my, excursions, escapades, conquests, whatever you may call it. And so everyone is pretty much either pink or dark red to me at this point. And the people that are dark red, I know are higher level and higher stats than me. So I figure instead my bubble's going to activate pretty soon, so I might as well upgrade all my cities. And I upgrade my cities evenly, all to level 65, because if you upgrade your cities evenly, then you pull more KP out of the gold that you spent on the cities. So this is something to keep in mind as well, especially on the last day of season when you're trying to boost your KP as high as possible to get a higher rating and more end of season rewards. Spend your gold evenly throughout your cities. Don't get, one city to 85 and one city to 75. Instead, get all your cities to 77, Find a good middle ground where you can split your gold evenly throughout your cities. And you kind of see me doing this here. And this is generally what I do just on a daily basis before I bubble or after I bubble. I'll dump my gold and spend it evenly throughout all my cities. And so kind of coming to an end here, I do have a few more minutes. So I did want to mention again, this is a giveaway video. Every 7 minutes, or within every 7 minute period, there's going to be one just random word that you'll see somewhere on screen that's hidden. I think I hid them pretty well. So even if you're logging in and watching this video a couple days late, then you have a decent chance of finding it. Again, my Discord server will be linked in description, and that you can't type in the YouTube channel comments what the word, the random word is, and the time of it that it shows up in the video. But what you can do is join my Discord channel and either DM me or put in the giveaway channel, because I have a giveaway channel. In that, you tell me what the secret word is, what the time that it shows up is, and then I'll DM you, get your information, send it to the devs. They'll send you 6,000 sapphires, a $60 value, and that's that. I don't really get anything from this. This is purely for you guys. So if you wouldn't mind just complying with the rules, that would be awesome. And again, if you liked the video, I know this is probably one of my longest ones. I'm sorry for that, but whatever. If you liked the video and thought it was informational, then feel free to like or subscribe. And again, although you're only able to activate one of the, secret words or codes or whatever that is found hidden in the video, then you can, if you find two of them, you can share with a friend, and then they can DM me and, let me know that they found it, or, whatever. It doesn't matter if they even say that you found it and here's whatever the code is. So, yeah, let me know. And again, there's no time limit on this, as far as I know. Maybe there is, but as far as I know, there's no time limit. I will hide them well so that there isn't a disadvantage to anyone who watches this video a bit late. So yeah, good luck. Have a great season. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope to see you in the next video.